Excuse me. Howdy, everybody, and welcome. This is the 7th installment of the Open Shop, as I'm calling it, where I essentially just turn on the cameras and talk about what I'm doing in the shop while I'm doing it. This is, today's opening songs brought to you on this Filmo Sound 179 that I did some work on about a year ago, and now I've got my hands on it again, and I'm going and just making a few changes, things that I learned in the meantime. And I'm excited about it. I like it. This one runs kind of hot. So I'm playing around with different cathode resistors and that sort of thing. Anyway, what I thought might be fun would be this week is to test some tubes. So I've got a weekly gig over at the deli in Norman, and there's a really nice couple who comes to the show every Sunday, 5 to 7. And while I'm playing, I'll sometimes get excited and talk about the amp projects I'm working on. And that caught the attention of this guy Barry. His dad was a radio man, and so he has all these vacuum tubes that he has been, every once in a while, he'd bring me like a bag of tubes all neatly wrapped, or some of them in the boxes still. And this past Sunday at the gig, he showed up with another bag full of vintage, oftentimes Joint Army Navy or RCA, like really nice vintage octal tubes. So that is what we're going to be messing around with today. If we zip through that and I've got enough time, I may play around with this Filmo Sound some more. There's a couple things that I'd like to examine, because I've done a couple of these more recently, and you learn something every time you do it, don't you? So anyway, first things first, I'm going to get set up over here with my tube tester and my old tube manual. We're going to look up each tube, we're going to pop it in the tube tester, we're going to evaluate it and see what we might use a tube like that for. So that's what's on the menu for today. And with that, let's get started. Uh-huh. Yes, indeed. So, let's start off with these big, old, beautiful 6F6s. Eh? Beautiful. So, first thing I want to do here, we're going to locate the 6F6 on here. This is the chart that comes with the tube tester, and depending on how old it is, it will or won't have your tube on it. All of these octal tubes should be on here though. So we're looking for 6F6, okay? It may be hard to see from that angle, but we've got the 6F6 right there. We're going to set 6.3 volts, 36 on the load. C to E go up, G and H go down. Type 3, so this is 1, 2, 3. Got 6.3 volts. And then 6F6. C to E. All right. Let's flip it on. Set that line in the middle. We'll pop in our 6F6. Now with this kind of tester, the shorts test is really simple. You just flip the light colored letters, the non-bolded letters, through the other positions, and if the short lights up, you got yourself a short. If you flip one of them that's associated with the heater, you'll get that short. So we've let our 6F6 heat up. Now we flip the test switch down here just off camera. Oh, see that needle move. It's a bit hard with the yeah, it's a little easier to see. The needle went in the wrong direction. So I'm going to turn it off. We're going to set that tube aside. We have one other 6F6, so while it's set up, I'm going to go ahead and put it in and let it heat up while we flip to our other reference, the old Sylvania technical manual. I wonder if it'd be helpful for me to... That may or may not be better for y'all. Nice. Okay. So the technical manual, let us find, while the 6F6 warms up, let's find our 6F6. Okay. 6F6. So it is a pentode power tube. Let's see. Runs on 6.3 volts. 375 max plate voltage. It's yeah, it looks like, looking at it here, 3.2 or 4.8 watts of output. So we'll do our shorts test. Nothing shorted. Huh. Oh, you know what? I might have forgotten to do set the load right. Isn't that something? 6F6, the load's supposed to be 36. I've got it at 20. All right, let's see if having the proper load puts this tube into the good category. What do you know? It does. Glad I didn't chuck that other one into the garbage. We got a good 6F6 right here. And could this be a redemption story for the other 6F6? Time will tell. Wouldn't you know it? Matches up quite nicely. So, well, actually this maybe doesn't tell us anything about how those two 6F6s would match, but if I were to have an amp that ran I believe the pinouts are the same for like a 6V6 or a 6L6. Yeah. And in that case, if you've got it biased right, you could pop this in instead if you wanted a lower output. Or if you're building something from scratch, that's a fun option as well. But speaking of 6V6, there was indeed one 6V6 in the bag, 6V6 GT, made by Delco. So let's consult. Here's the 6V6 in question. Same pinout. Yeah. All right. Let's find that 6V6. Here we go. Shuffle back and forth. 6V6. So far, Type 3, 6.3 volt heater. Load at 33 instead of 36. 6V6. CDE. A goes down as well here. Otherwise, it's the same as the 6F6. So let us put it to the test. And the 6V6. 6.3 volts, 450 milliamps of heater current, and here plate dissipation 12 watts. That's the statistic I was curious about with the other one. Let's see if I can locate that. Yeah, 6F6. Aha. Design center ratings. Plate dissipation, 11 watts. Okay, that 6F6 is a lot more interesting now. Maximum plate dissipation is what's going to get us into trouble if we're biased too hot. Anyway, let's check this 6V6. I'm going to put it through the same shorts tests. Oh, we might have a short there. Now, let me double check because I may have... it should be... Yeah, I think we might have a shorted tube here. Wait a second. Maybe not. Sometimes this thing will jump and light up for just a second. But then suppose you've discharged it, but that tube tests good. Got no reason to think it's not. Nice single 6V6. I got a couple of single-ended amplifiers that would be fun. So getting updates here. All right. All right, great. So let's continue. Uh, what do I have next? I have a couple of 6SN7s. So let's get set up to test those. All right, 6SN7, that's what I'm looking for. 6SN7. So this is going to be, yeah, type 2. We'll flip all these back to neutral. .3 volts, 26 for the load. All right, DE go up. F and G go down. All right, we are set up. So let's get our first 6SN7. This first one here, 6SN7 GT. Yeah. This is Tungsol, made in USA, Joint Army Navy. So this probably falls into the category of tubes that were made for the military. In theory, they've been, like, I don't know, built better or put through a filtering or a screening process, and the ones that don't meet a certain spec being tossed out. But none of that matters if it doesn't test good. So again, we'll test the shorts. Oh yeah, and let's pull up, here we go, 6SN7. What it is, a medium mu duo triode. So not the high mu, not like its brother 6SL7, which we do have some of as well. We're going to test. Whoa, look at that. All right, so went ahead and did, we don't have any shorts, but want to do the test. Bad. All right, let me double check. It's totally possible to set this up right. DEFG. DEFG, yeah. All right, well, let's see if the other side tests bad as well. I suspect that it will. AB go up, CG goes down. These shorts tests bad as well. Okay, fascinating. Once again, I'm just going to set it to the side for now. Let's pull up another one of these 6S in 7s that I've got here. Let's see. Should have one here. This one's in a nice old aged cardboard paper box. Another, yeah, the Tungsol Joint Army Navy 6SN7. Let's cross our fingers. It'd be nice if it was good to go. 6.3 type 2 ABCG 6SN7 ABCG. Test for shorts. No shorts. This one's good. There we go. It's nice to get it good after that bad reading. Make sure that I didn't just set it up wrong, which is always, possible. DEFG. DE go up, FG go down. We test D, E, and F for shorts. No shorts. Test good. We've got a good 6SN7 here, which I've used in microphone preamps for cathode follower output, and it sounded pretty darn good. I like it. So I'm excited about having this tube. Wait, I picked up another one. Where did it? All right, here's the box for this one. All right, there we go. Put it with all the other tubes that are good. Now, let's test the 6SL7 because it's right next to the 6SN7 on the chart. And it looks like it's a Type 3, which is interesting because the 6SN7 is very similar. 6L7, it's the same pinout, but it's a high mu dual triode. Yeah, what do we have? Some of the interesting differences here. 6SN7, maximum plate dissipation of 3.5 watts. 6SL7, where is it? Plate dissipation 1 watt, right? So 6SN7, in theory, you could use that for an output tube. I think I've seen people do that into a transformer, either for a line output or a speaker output. But the 6SL7, which we're about to test, that's going to be for your voltage amplification, your preamp first stages, second stages kind of thing. Now this box is it's going to be hard to open without destroying it, which always breaks my heart. Here we go. All right. This is a little dusty. RCA, Joint Army Navy, 6SL7. I don't know when the camera's going to decide to focus on it. Maybe never. But there's the little RCA logo. Very cool. Very nice. And our Joint Army Navy, JAN, 6SL7. All right, let's check that. 6SL7. 32 for the load. And same as before. DE go up, FG go down. Let it warm up while we do our shorts test. No shorts. Ooh. Looks like it's bad. It's unfortunate. Just to be sure, let's check the other side. Nothing on the shorts test. Also bad. Okay. Unfortunate. But these tubes are 80, 90 years old. So it's not necessarily surprising. But it's always fun to pick through it, look through it, and see what you can find that you can use, right? So I want to check this RCA 6SR7. I don't even know what that is, but I think when I was looking... So, again, the story of these tubes, which I'm just so happy about. There's I play at the deli in Norman every Sunday from 5 to 7, and there is a really nice couple that have been coming to the gigs for a long time, and they are super nice. The fella is named Barry, and he brings me some tubes, and he invited me over to his home to look through the tubes and pick out the ones that I thought were interesting. And so this one did jump out at me. I think I looked it up in the moment, but I can't remember what it is. So uh, we're gonna first just locate it here and set ourselves up to test it. So the 6SR7, it's on here. Type 1, 6.3 volts, 50 for the load. E goes up, CG go down. And it looks like it's got 3 elements to test. So I think it's maybe a triode with a pair of diodes on it. So 6S, what did I say? 6SR7. So you can. All right. I always love it when this happens. So actually, I'm going to just look it up on the internet. And while I do that, heck, we'll fire it up. Six SR7 data sheet. Thank you. Yes, indeed, we have a triode with a couple of diodes. So let's test it out. 6SR7. Test good. This is one I'm not as confident about the shorts test. I understand sometimes shorts test is not necessary for diodes and rectifiers and that sort of thing, so we'll leave that alone. So we've done this one. Now D is up with C and G. No short on D, looks like. D looks good. Now we've got to reset the load to 30. BF go up. And C and G go down. All right. Like I said, sometimes that thing will jump, and it doesn't necessarily mean that something's shorted. All right, looks like our triode is good as well. Oh, wait. Wrong test. Type 2. Triode's still good. All right, sometimes you get lucky. Tell you what. So, 6SR7. Yeah, let me look this up real quick because I don't know if I have here. Oh, I think I do. The other tube, a 6SQ7, which is the same kind of cube, a triode with a pair of diodes. And I'm curious to compare them because the 6SQ7 is in a bunch of old stuff like the Gibson EH 150 that, in fact, here it is. Yeah. So, I want to compare current draw of the heater is the same, voltage is the same. Yeah, what about that? So on the 6SR7, sorry, we have a maximum plate dissipation of 2.5 watts. For the 6S Q7, looks like we've got, where is it? Where are they hiding it? Well, I don't include that information there. That's interesting. Could be that I'm missing it, but to expedite this process, I'm just going to look at that data sheet as well. 6S Q7 data sheet. Could be a consideration that people just don't care to write down for the 6S Q7. I'm sure it's somewhere, but I won't keep wasting y'all's time trying to find it right now. Let's test it. All right. Wow. It's a neat logo. Quality Valves, it says. All right. So let's get it set up here to test 6S Q7 type 1 all the way across. It's interesting. Now 1, 6.3, 40, and 20 for those load values. So lower load, it's expecting. That's interesting too. 6S Q7. So far it looks like we're going to have the same pin out and the same levers flipped here, which is quite nice. All right, yeah, I think that's ready then. So we're going to test one of the diodes first. No short there. Give it a second to warm up. All right. Now let's see if it's warmed up, and indeed it has. It's good. All right, so now 6SQ7, flip up D, test it for shorts, no shorts, it's good. So now we're going to change B and F go up, C and G stay down, load gets flipped down to 20. We're back on. There we go. All right, our 6SQ7 is good as well. I imagine a lot of the places you might be able to use that 6SR7 could probably use this 6SQ7, or vice versa, rather. If I were to guess, I'd say that 2.5 watts on the 6SR7 is a higher rating than the 6SQ7, but that's just a guess. I don't actually know. Let's test this rectifier. 6X5. 6 volt B plus rectifier. Joint Army Navy. Yeah, US. It's got a little anchor on it. Set up this type number 3. 6.5. Load is 32. G and H go down. E goes up. Let's start here actually. C, and then we'll go to. And we won't be doing any shorts tests on the rectifier. We'll just let it warm up. And it tests good. So now, we tested C. E is the other plate. And it's good as well. So we have a good 6X5. Which is excellent, because that is the rectifier that is living inside of the RP2 that I'm currently using for these beautiful radio broadcast quality vocals you hear right now. So to have another 6X5 on hand makes me very happy. Alright, I've just got a couple of tubes left. Actually, I think I just have one tube left to test, and it is this 6K7 RCA. First, I want to see what it is. Please be in the manual. Got 6K6. 6K7. All right. Looks like we have a remote cutoff radio frequency pentode. Okay. Remote cutoff. And what do we have here? Any pretty normal heater, current draw, and all that good stuff. Maximum ratings. Plate dissipation 2.75 watts. Maximum plate voltage of 300. Yeah, okay. Neat. Let's see if it's good. 6K7. Here it is. Type number 2. 6.3, 32. How about all that? CDK. Go up. EGH go down. Pop it in. And put the cap on it. Flip that bad boy on. Alright, let's do some of those shorts tests. 6K7. So just not G. Or H, probably. Sometimes they don't bold the H, but it's still somehow connected to the heater. And no shorts. Ooh. That's trying, but I think it's bad. We'll let it heat up just a little bit more, but I think that one might be done for. Yeah, unfortunately, I believe we have got a bad 6K7 here. set it aside. Now I'm pretty sure I've already tested these, but I'm going to go ahead and test them again because I've kind of scooted them into the same pile as all these others. These came from a different place, though. These came with this really cool RCA preamp that I got, RCA 1612. And I don't think it was actually even the right tube for the preamp, because 6L7 is some kind of, well, yeah, heptode converter or amplifier. So, I think it has the same. Let me double check myself. Same pinout, more or less, as the 6J7, which they don't have right here. But it's got some extra grid action happening here. Well, it's got interlaced grids, it looks like, right? Which is just extra. So, probably used in radio for modulating or demodulating. Let's see, is there anything interesting? Yeah, mixer. Yeah, RF input grid, oscillator input grid. Yeah, so they've got plans for this thing. Okay, so let's find it here and give it a quick test. 6L7. Here we go. 2. It's interesting, though, that it's got multiple elements to test, as it's a pentode, but it could be that extra grid. In fact, I think that's probably what's going on here. GH go down, D goes up. Yeah, okay. 6L. Load at 56. Yeah, okay. Cap it. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I just noticed the question here. Okay, great. Hey, Dad. Great questions. So, in order, how old are these tubes in particular? A lot of these are from the 40s. This octal style with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's a missing pin here, or an unused pin here, but 8 pins with this thick tube versus the later 9-pin style that came out in the 50s. And so all of your octal tubes, or not all, but a lot of these particular kinds of octal tubes got replaced by those smaller 9-pin tubes. So these are then going to be 40s or 50s. And that's that one side of that 6L7 tests good. So in the next one, the next question, what is the typical life expectancy for most of these tubes? If they're operated within the design specifications that I've been looking at here in the book, they can last for a long time. In fact, a lot of these amplifiers that I convert, I use the exact same tubes that they came with, and only if they've been abused, either physically, shook or broken. If the vacuum seal breaks and you get air in there, then you're going to have you're going to have an issue with well, the tube's not going to work. Um, but if they're operated, reasonably under their normal, prescribed parameters, they can last for decades, and a lot of them do. Uh, Case in point, all these, from the 40s that are still good. Now, a lot of these, maybe they just sat in the box. That's totally possible too. Um, and the things that cause them to go bad, yeah. So, like I was talking about, either physical abuse, it gets shook so hard that the internal elements short out against each other, or it's operated at conditions that it wasn't built for. Either the heaters are at a voltage that's wrong, too high, or too much current is going through them, or the thing, if it's an amplifier, is biased too hot to where it's running too much current through, and then that can over time degrade and then damage the tube. And then pretty much once they're done because of that vacuum seal thing. That if they get shorted out inside, there's not really a good way to get in there and unshort them. And if they get burned out or the vacuum seal gets broken, then it's just Dunskies. So, but there are some people who are making new tubes, and I just saw a video last week of somebody who made blew their own glass, made their own tubes from scratch, and so that's something that seemed impossible for a long time, but then somebody does it, right? Which is pretty awesome. So who knows? There could be all kinds of cool new tube things going on. But yeah, let's. All right, I'm gonna test the other side of the 6L7. Got it set up. Oh wait. The load. I think the load is different. Yes, in fact it is. 26 is the load. So let's test it under proper conditions. Yeah. All right. So we got the 6L7, which is an RF mixer amplifier tube. Oh, whoops, wrong one. So first, just check it for shorts. Don't see any shorts. That's good. Test good. Beautiful. While I've got the tester set up for this, that microphone preamp came with an extra 6L7. Once again, I don't think that it was the tube that was supposed to be in there originally, but it works well, so why not? Not shorted. Oh, wait. Can't forget to put the cap on it. Yeah, so a lot of those tubes that have a cap on one end got replaced because that's a pain in the butt. And a lot of them have straight across kind of names to this, like the 6N7 to a 6SN, S meaning same side, that they put the thing on the same side as all the other pins. Who knows why it took them a while to figure out that would be convenient or useful. All right, so that side tests good. Let's test the other side. Back up to 56. And I believe it was E. What was it? 6L7. D. D goes up. Everything else is the same. Test shorts. It's not shorted. Test good. So we've got two good 6L7s here, which I am starting to try to get into radio stuff, so maybe it'll be a good radio application for that. If not, I also did a little experiment. Actually, maybe I'll save that for next time, but I have put this into the Filmo sound in place of a 6J7, and it worked. Sounded all right. Had a little bit less gain than the 6J7, but it sounded just fine. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it today. In this tube haul, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, wait, no, 8, 9 good tubes that are gonna get put into some amplifiers and are gonna help make some music in the world. And we had 3 bad tubes. Now, truthfully though, you know, Dad, you were asking about what can be done once they go bad, and let's see if I've got this over here still. It's not the coolest, greatest thing ever, but it's something. You can unsolder these pins from the tube, slide it out, and then you're just left with this base, which you can put stuff in there and pop it into the tube socket, which is interesting. Um, One thing to do with that is what I've done here, which is uh, put 2 diodes in here so that if I could put this in place of certain rectifier tubes and have the tube work on solid state rectifiers, i.e., these diodes, instead of the tube, and that has different effects on the amplifier. The effect of raising the B plus and kind of stiffening the power supply, as they say, giving you less sag or saturation. But anyway, that's something that I may try to do with these bases, so that some part of this tube will get used again. But yeah, pretty much once they're dead, they're done. And it's often good policy that if you're not going to try to do something with the bases, to go ahead and throw them away so that you don't accidentally put them in something later on. Not a whole lot of value in keeping tubes that don't work. But if you disagree, let me know about it. And yeah, thanks a bunch for tuning in and watching. I think next week I'm gonna get back to working on that Filmo sound or its brother, and we may have a Filmo sound shootout. A couple of Filmo sounds that I've done, plugged into a couple of different speaker cabinets, maybe. Maybe we'll run some effects into it on the front end and whatever else. But yeah, thanks a bunch for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.